Hey Madison, how you doing? Okay, looks like we've got a full lowercase set of letters, full lowercase alphabet. That's great. All right, we've definitely got some really good things going on. I think there's some interesting things. Right now, I think that there's some inconsistencies based on uh, these closed counters. The fact that these are closed, and I think what that does is it adds a lot of visual weight to the letter forms that have those counters. Um, Filled in with black. So we can see that the majority of those counters that are filled with black, the way that you have this, are kind of isolated right here, right? So if we take a look at this composition right here, we can see a lot more density right through here, specifically right through here. And I think that creates some inconsistency in the letter form. So for example, if we take a look at the density of the A and compare it to the lowercase I, we can see that this lowercase I just basically, it can't stand up to the A. It's not beefy enough. I would recommend that in a lot of your letter forms, you increase the stroke size. This is an interesting way to present the tittle on the J and the I, but I think they're too close right now. I think I would move those up a little bit. Um, and again, like I said, see if you take a look at the stroke weight of the H right through here, it's so thin it doesn't stand a chance standing up to the A, the B, or the closed counter letter forms. For that reason, as I said, I recommend increasing the stroke size, try to create more consistency, visual weight of the letter forms. The other thing I would recommend is getting these on a baseline. Let's get a guide going here. I'm going to use this as a straight edge, right? So let's come up here and we'll draw this. The first half of the letters I'm going to place this, and what we're looking at is where the baseline meets this kind of straight edge that I've drawn. And we can see that right now a lot of your letter forms don't reach the baseline, which means that when we do the same thing, draw that straight edge over to the mean line, once we pull these letter forms down so that they're consistently resting on the baseline, they're going to not be big enough. They're going to be really, really small. For example, if we take that I and move it down to the baseline, it's going to be tiny compared to the M, right? It's not going to be big enough. Do you see what I'm saying? So little things like that, little consistencies like that, we can really, really see some big differences here. So drawing a guide and placing these on a guide is really going to help in your consistency, specifically relating to the size of the distance between the baseline and the mean line, and eventually the baseline and the cap line and the descender lines as well. So the point I'm trying to make is we really want to get these set on guides so that they are consistently the right size. All right, so those are my two main recommendations. So definitely got some really good attributes going on here, but I would recommend making those changes. Now, another thing I'd like to address is you have the B and the D, and right now the B is leaning this way. That's called an axis. And the problem that we have with duplicating the B and flipping it around, reflecting it to create the D, is that by doing so, the D is going to sit on a different angle. Okay, so we have the B sitting on this axis, this diagonal axis, but the D is sitting on this diagonal axis, and that creates some uncomfortable visual tension, specifically in words where the B and the D are together. Like if you were to try to assemble the word bad with your B and your A and your D, the B is going this way, the D is going this way. So you may want to consider your redesign here of the B, the D, and the closed counter letter forms as well. I think that they're just like I said. I think they're really, really super weighty. They look good, but they're not going to work well with some of these more thin, more frail letter forms. So that's okay. That's okay as long as you increase the stroke here to increase that consistency of the visual weight associated with the individual letter forms. I think you'll be okay. But we are still confronted with this phenomenon of these letter forms. So an alphabet type design should have the same axis of your letters. So in other words, they should all appear to be slanted the same way. Okay, so this takes on this angle, which is different from the A. The A kind of takes on this angle, consistent with the B. So I'm wondering if we don't take this portion of the D, use it for the bowl of the B, and then just assemble the vertical stem. Okay, makes sense? All right, so other than that, what we're looking for in our next submission is this. Task 2. Oh, by the way, you've done a great job identifying what you need to, what you needed to fill to use the, to create the components used to assign. So you're showing success in this assignment. Moving forward, though, don't forget now in milestone 3, task 2, we need to develop a full character set of capital letters, a full alphabet, capital letters, lowercase letters, as well as numeric characters 0 through 9, and your punctuation as well. Okay, so a little bit of work still left in front of us, but you're making great progress and things are looking very good. All right, so address those comments, please, and I think we're well on our way. If you do address those comments, I'd like to see those for your final submission for task 1, is to get these more consistently sitting on a baseline so we can establish some good, consistent size relationships, as well as addressing those strokes too. I would recommend doing that for your final submission for task 1. All right, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to clarify. Thank you very much.